Ding dong, ring out the old, ring in the new. Hi everybody, welcome for joining me on my latest little YouTube video. I hope you're all well and dandy and you know the hangover from last night's gone. Today for this little video I thought we'd do like a update on a few of the records off the last video. The video where I bought a job lot of 17 Beatles LPs that some of the covers weren't that good and some of them, well, they all needed cleaning. To be honest, when I was looking through them before I was cleaning, there's a couple that I actually thought about chucking in the bin, but I didn't. I didn't. So I haven't had time to play every one of these records, but I have had time to play a few of them, which probably are, in all fairness, the most interesting ones out of the lot. Well, some of them are anyway. I have put stickers on some of this. I've put them all in new sleeves, and I've put stickers on roughly saying what I think they are like. So the first one we'll look at is this one, Revolver. Now this was an Italian pressing, but it was a reissue, so it was on a one box Parlophone EMI blue label. The cover wasn't that good. Well, the cover was okay, but it was split. Now I have managed to glue it. It did take me a lot of time because I had to do it really, really thin, but I've managed to glue it. I've put on, that is actually on the outer sleeve, it's not on the actual record cover. So I've put on this, the Beatles Rubber Soul, pressed in Italy, repressing. Record very good, some marks, cover good, right? And the reason I've put some marks is because there's some hairline marks. Nothing too bad. So it's in a new anti-static sleeve. You'll have to excuse me if I'm going down there, because that's just where I'm going to put the records. So yeah, the record has actually come up really, really nice. And although I've put some marks, now I can't see them. I did play it, and hopefully you'll be able to see the labels a little bit better this time as well. So I've played it on my Sony direct drive record deck, which is fitted with a, I can't remember what it is. It's fitted with quite a decent cartridge, Audio Technica cartridge. Like when I played this, it sounded absolutely amazing. It actually sounded better than an 80s UK pressing. Like I say, the sleeve, I've managed to stick it. It's not brilliant. This is the one that had the really weird back cover. Sounds, like I say, it sounds amazing. For a reissue, I would say that is better, or better, than the UK equivalent from the 1980s. I would say if I wanted to sell that, I would be able to get about 20, maybe £25 for that as it is at the minute. That might be a little bit high, it's just a guesstimate, but it plays absolutely amazing, and the cover is now all intact. Okay, it's not brilliant, like I say, the cover's good, nothing more than that, but people buy that for that, and because it's got a slightly different label on it to the UK equivalent. So that's the first one. So I knew that was a nice record anyway, but now I've made a nice record into a record that you can sit, play and enjoy, and I've fixed the cover. The next one is Hard Day's Night. This was a bit of a weird one, although that was a weird one as well, because it's made to look like the UK one, but it's actually a Portuguese pressing from the 80s again, but it's on the yellow and black Parlophone label. This one wasn't that bad, to be honest. I've put on it A Hard Day's Night there, Portuguese pressing, records very good plus, plays fine, sorry, plays fab, cover very good. That's what I've done again. It's not stuck onto the cover, it's stuck onto the sleeve. A lot of this is more for my own personal, because I've got that many records, sometimes I forget what I've got. So if I write things on it when I'm doing them, I know what they are. And like I say, I'm in two minds whether or not to be doing a record fair at some point in this year, in this new year. But everything is now in a new anti-static polyline sleeve. And this has actually come up really, really nice. I mean, it wasn't in that bad a condition anyway. But this is the one that has slight label damage, because I think it's got damp at some point. Really, really nice. Again, I sat and listened to this. And again, I would say it sounds just as well, if not slightly better, than a UK 80s pressing stereo. I mean, you say an 80s repress. If you think about it, that's 40 years ago now, isn't it? 90, well, 40, as of today, 43 years ago, 1980. Yeah, so some of these weren't, you know, 80s pressing, so they're the best part of 40-year-old, aren't they? So they are classed as vintage records, aren't they? But that, brilliant. Again, if I was going to sell that, I think I'd get around the 20, maybe £25 mark at a push. Then we've got Help. This was a reissue, 1980s reissue from the UK, so it's on a Parlophone 2-box EMI label. Record excellent, cover very good, plays fab. No skips or jumps on any of these so far. No skips or jumps. Oops. I hope you can see all these, because I've been messing about with my lighting, trying not to get as much glare. I know there's still a little bit of glare on that, but it doesn't, you know, it's not overwhelming, is it? Again, in the nice new sleeve, in the sleeve. And this has come up really, really nice. And the thing about this is it's HTM cutting, which I didn't realise before. Harry T. Moss, which was the chief cutting engineer for EMI for many, many, many years. If you've got his initials scratched into record, you know you've got a quality product. There is a slight mark there, but nothing too bad. Again, played it, sounded absolutely amazing. When I say they sound amazing, I mean they sound okay. There's a little bit of background noise in places, you know, but nothing overwhelming. On these three that I've shown so far, there's no clicks or jumps or anything like that. You know, if you want a pristine copy, you'll go out and buy a brand new one from HMV, won't you, or somewhere like that. If you want a nice vintage playable copy, then you buy something like this. And it seems strange saying something from the 80s is a vintage copy, but it isn't. I mean, I'm not much older than this. Great record. Again, if I was going to sell that, I'd say around the £10 to £15 mark. If I was going to sell them. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with them yet. In all honesty, I don't think I will be selling them. The next one is Revolver. Now, this was, the record was the worst one out of the lot. When I was looking at this in detail before I cleaned it, I nearly chucked it away. Because it looked that bad. But I thought, well, we worked out these would roughly cost me about £3 each, didn't we, the other day? So I thought, well, I'll give it a clean, because at the end of the day, all it's going to cost me is the electricity for me project record cleaning machine and the fluid. Side 2 is Brill. You know, it has got some very, very minor hairline marks on it. Sounds really good. And the version of Tomorrow Never Knows on here, although it's like only the standard one, sounded absolutely amazing. Don't know why. It sounded crisp and clear and everything. Side 1 is a different matter. This is the one that had a really, really bad mark just there. I don't know if you can see it. You can see it, look, really, really bad. But I've cleaned it and it's not feelable. It's not feelable, which is strange because it looks, if you looked at that, you think, oh my God, that's not going to play. And it's got another one there, which isn't as bad, but there was like a scratch there as well. But that one is really, really bad. If I pick that up with that on it, there, I think I'd walk away from it. But having said that, again, HTM cutting. I played it and I thought, well, when it gets side one won't play. But I played it and yes, there's some background noise on it in places, nothing overwhelming, and there's the odd click, and I mean odd click, but it's not overpowering. It's just like you'll be listening to it, and if you listen really, really careful, you can hear the click, which I think I was doing because I was expecting it to jump, but it didn't. It played okay. Yes, side 2 is probably the better side out of both of them, but it is a playable copy. The cover again wasn't that bad anyway, but somebody had drawn there and there. I did spend a couple of minutes with a bit of WD-4 to try and get that off, but I think I'm going to have to spend more time. I've cleaned the rest of it off because that was slightly dull, but apart from that, that doesn't look that bad, does it? So yeah, I'm happy with that one. So like I say, that, what did I say? What have I put on here? I'm putting stickers on the sleeves just so I know what copy I'm looking at. The Beatles Revolver reissue. Side 1, lots of marks, plays good. Side 2, plays fab. No skips or jumps, cover okay, which it is. I mean, it's not a bad cover, is it? It's just okay. And if I could get them off, it'd probably be worth a little bit more, but is it worth the effort to do it? I don't know. So yeah, so far all of them are really, really good. I'm actually impressed with these records. I was impressed with them anyway, but now they've all been cleaned, I think I can see the true potential of these records. This one, the Beatles White Album, clean the front up, that's come up really, really nice. Still can't get this bloody thing off, and it is still quite sticky. I only had to go for like 5 or 10 minutes trying to get it off with a bit of WD-40, and it didn't seem to be doing anything. So I don't know what to do. I don't know if to leave it like that, but obviously if I leave it like that, you can't put it into a plastic sleeve, and if that touches another record, you've still got a chance that it could ruin that record as well. Still made in France, but it is a shame because the rest of it has come up really, really nice. The records, side 1s and side 2, a few hairline marks, nothing deep, plays absolutely amazing. Side 2 again. Remember, these are the French export copies for the UK. So it will say made by Patty Marconi in France, or made in France by Patty Marconi, but then you'll still get the manufactured in the UK on the labels, which are actually becoming quite rare nowadays. That one played amazing. Played really, really nice. Not mint, don't get me wrong. These records will never be classed as mint or prestige or pristine. Right, this was the first record I played. When I cleaned them, this was the first record I played. And I played it side 4 first, and then side 3, and then side 1 and side 2. Which sounds stupid, but on that there, can you see that scratch there? Oh, it goes all the way from there to there. And when I did it the other day, it wasn't a deep scratch, but you just slightly feel it. You can still slightly feel it now. And then there's another scratch How is it? Well, there's that bit there, bit like a mark there, right? So I played that side first, thinking, well, that's going to jump. Didn't played okay. Actually played okay. Near the end, on Good Night, there was a couple of clicks, but in all honesty, that's not the best song on the album anyway, is it? I'm telling you, yeah. So that was it. That's actually, I'm telling you a lie. This is actually sides 1 and sides 2. Yes, like I say, yeah. I was worried about that there. That scratch there. But I needed to bin because it played all the way through. And I know it played all the way through because my favourite song, or one of my favourite songs on this album, is Julia. And that is right at the end where that scratch feels the worst. But it played fine. Did actually really play nice. I was actually surprised. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've done it right. Yeah, I played side. Yeah, so I've told you right. So what do I do with that? Do I leave it as it is? Do I spend a whole day trying to get it off? Would it be worth getting it off? I don't know. So on the label, because obviously I haven't put it in a plastic sleeve, so I've just wrote it on here. I put the Beatles White Album, French export for UK market, double LP, records okay, play nice, some surface noise and marks, no skips or jumps, cover poor, because that cover's poor. Even if I could get all that off, all this off, the cover would still be poor, I reckon. It'd look better than that, don't get me wrong, but I think you'd still class it as a poor cover. So the reason for this update is to show you how well they've come out. So far there's nothing that isn't playable, but there is still a lot to go through. Like I say, I've only done a certain amount so far and I'm happy with them, and I think if I wanted to resell them I could sell them, or most of them. Might not get a lot for them, but the more I think about it, the reselling thing I don't think I'm going to do, to be honest. Or maybe, I don't know. The idea of getting him to start off with was to show people what you can sort of get off the internet. If you're prepared to put in the time and the effort to clean them, you know, a lot of people would have seen them, and you know, if you'd seen them in a car boot or in a record shop, you probably wouldn't have bought them as they were. But now I've cleaned them up, I think I've made them 50% better than what they looked on the original videos. Like I say, I know they all play okay. Yes, some of them have got a little bit of snap, crackle and pop in them, or a bit of hiss here and there. Not overwhelming. They're all very enjoyable to listen to. So if you're prepared to buy second-hand records that need a little bit of work doing to them, covers are slightly different. You know, I've been lucky so far. The ones that have needed doing, I've been able to do it. Like, get a thing that you shove in your ear, put a little bit of glue on it and do a little bit at a time and then stick it, and so far it's been okay. If you're going to be doing things like this, you are going to need a decent record cleaning machine. Start off with one of them spin things, but don't just use water. Get the proper cleaning fluid for it, and you might have to clean them 3 or 4 times to get them to that standard of what mine are. I'm lucky I've got a project record cleaning machine, so within, I mean, most of them was only cleaned once, just one light thing, and then you vacuum it and stuff. So if you want to see more videos of the other records as another update, please let me know. If you don't, fair enough, just tell me. You know, I've got plenty of things to do videos on. I just thought, you know, if you're new to record collecting and you can't afford to pay, or going to HMVs, or, you know, buy brand new records at £30 a time. I mean, I paid, what was it, £55 for 17 records there, right? And looking at it, fingers crossed, I think they will all be playable records. And at the end of the day, they will do you, if you're just starting out record collecting or getting into the Beatles, they will do you once you've cleaned them, so you can afford to buy better copies. They'd be, I think they used to call them filler copies, didn't they? But I think they are slightly better than filler copies. Slightly better. I'm not saying they're mint. I'm not saying they're pristine, unplayed records. They are played vintage, second hand, third hand, fourth hand. Could have had 10 owners. Beatles records, but they are playable. And if you're not, I mean, this Sony deck, it's not a cheap deck. It's a decent deck, right? But I'm not scared to play them on there, right? If you've got something like my project one, then you know, if they've got deep scratches on them, it might play completely different on there. But on this one, my Sony, none of them jumped, none of them skipped. So I think I've done very, very well. As always, thank you to everybody that is subscribing, leaving likes and leaving comments. Just a quick note on your comments. I love reading your comments. That's the interaction between us, the comments. I don't always get time to answer every comment, but I don't ignore any of them. I will, you know, if I've read it and I haven't got time, I will leave you a heart just to like, so that you don't think I've ignored you. So please, please, please keep your comments coming. Sometimes I don't read the comments, you know, because of the way I work. It could be a week or 2 weeks after I've posted the video that I actually read your comments. So if you don't get a reply straight away, I'm not ignoring you. You know, it's just the way things are, you know, with work and everything. So thank you to everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it's gone on a bit too long. Just, you know, if you want me to do a follow-up video on the other records, I will. If you lot don't, then I won't, you know, but just let me know. Personally, I think it would be an interesting video just to see what the other records sound like. Judging, I think they'll be okay. I think I've actually done really, really well on that job lot. I really do. And if I was going to sell them, I think I could probably triple my money. Probably. So until the next time. Oh, peace, love, happiness to you all, and wishing you all a healthy and wealthy 2023. Beatles Dave loves you all. So till the next time, it's cheerio for now, and peace, love, and happiness. See you later, guys.